Now we have started with the design of footing. So let us consider a problem. Design a square footing of uniform thickness for an axially loaded column of 500 mm by 500 mm in size, transmitting a load of 600 kilonewton. The shape bearing capacity of the soil is 150 kilonewton per meter square. Use M20 grade concrete and HYSD reinforcement. So in this problem, we have to design a square footing for a column having size equal to 500 mm by 500 mm for transmitting a load of 600 kilonewton, and the shape bearing capacity of the soil is given 150 kilonewton per meter square, and we have to use the M20 grade concrete and HYSD reinforcement. So first step, what we have to do, we have to calculate the material constant. So HYSD reinforcement is given, that is Fe415 steel is given. So permissible stress in steel is 230 Newton per mm square, and permissible stress in concrete under bending compression for M20 grade concrete is 7 Newton per mm square. The next step, you have to calculate the design constant. That is, first one is your modular ratio. M is equal to 280 divided by 3 times sigma CBC. So 280 divided by 3 times sigma CBC. So after simplifying this, when we are getting this, M is equal to 13.33. The next one, we have to calculate the K, that is neutral axis factor, which is given as the by M sigma CBC divided by M sigma CBC plus sigma ST. Now to put up all these values, then we are getting this neutral axis factor is 0.29. Then J is called as the lever arm constant, which is given as J is equal to 1 minus K by 3. After putting the value of the K here, we are getting the value of the J is equal to 0.91. Then calculate last one, constant for moment of resistance, 1/2 into sigma CBC K into J. Now put up the value of all this, then we are getting this constant for moment of resistance is 0.91. So this is about the design constant. Then column is given as a square column. So generally what happen, in case under the square column we are providing the square footing. So to design a square footing, then first we have to consider the load acting on the column, that is 600 is given. Then calculate the self weight of the column. Now the self weight will, so we have to calculate the self weight of the footing. Now the self weight of the footing is given as W1, and which is considered as a 10% of the load acting on the column. So W1 is equal to 10 divided by 100 into load acting on the column is 600. So this is the 600 kilonewton, that is the self weight of the footing. Then the shape bearing capacity of the soil is given. So P0 is equal to 150 kilonewton per meter square. Now we have to calculate the total load acting on the footing, and this total load acting on the footing is nothing but the load which is to be carried by the column plus self weight of the footing. So this W is the total load, which is equal to 600, that is the load carried by the column plus self weight of the footing, which is equal to 660 kilonewton. Now we have to calculate the area of the footing. This area of the footing is equal to total load acting on the column, that is W divided by the shape bearing capacity of the soil. So after simplifying this one, we are getting 4.4 square meter, that is the area of the square footing. Now we are assuming the footing is square one. So let B is the one of the side of the footing, that is side of the square. Then this B square is equal to area, that is 4.4. So after simplifying this one, we are getting B is equal to 2.1 meter. So this is the one of the side of your footing. Here the footing is to be square one. So what is the size of the footing? We are getting 2.1 meter by 2.1 meter. That is the size of the footing. The next step, you have to calculate the net upward pressure which is acting on the footing. So this P is equal to, that is load acting on, that is load can be transmitted by the column. It does not include the self weight of the footing. So only we have to consider the load which can be transmitted by the column, that is 600 divided by size of the footing or area of the footing, B into B up. So 600 divided by 2.1 by 2.1. So after simplifying one, we are getting this net upward pressure which is acting as 136 kilonewton per meter square. And the third step is we have to go for the calculation of the bending moment. Now the bending moment, the critical section for the bending moment will be lie at the face of the column. So this is the critical section for the bending moment. So this is your column having size equal to 0.5 by 0.5, and this is the length of the footing, that is 2.1, and this is the width of the footing, that is 2.1. So the bending moment we have to calculate first one. So bending moment is given as, bending moment is nothing but force multiplied by perpendicular distance. So this is the area we have to consider for the bending moment. So P is the net upward pressure which is to be acting. So P multiplied by B. B is nothing but your width of the footing, that is 1. Then area of this one, area of this one will be the L minus B. Total is L. This from this point to this point, that is value will be the L minus this B, that is width of the column, minus 2. This is the area of this one rectangle. So P, that is net upward pressure acting, multiply by this area of this rectangle will be gives the force acting on the footing. So P into B into this will be the L minus B divided by 2 into perpendicular distance will be the L minus B divided by 4. So put up the values. P is 136, B is your 2.1, L is nothing but the length of the footing, that is 2.1. Then B, that is the width of the column, that is 0.5 divided by 2. Again 2.1 minus 0.5 divided by 4. So after simplifying this one, we are getting the bending moment developed is 91.40 kilonewton meter, and which is equal to 91.40 into 10 to the power 6 Newton millimeter. So this is the bending moment acting. Now next step, you have to calculate the depth of the footing. So effective depth of the footing is given as under root of M divided by R into B. So M is nothing but the bending moment developed, and which is equal to 91.4 into 10 to the power 6 into R is your constant that we are already calculated, 0.91, into B is nothing but the width of the footing, that is 2100. So after simplifying this one, so we are getting this size of the footing, that is 219. So go to the higher side. So what is we are providing? We are providing the depth, effective depth of the footing as 300 mm. Now let us provide a effective cover of 50 mm for the footing. So overall depth of the footing is given as 300 plus 50. So what is we are getting? This overall depth of the footing is 350 mm. So this is the depth we are getting. Now we have to check this depth for the one-way shear and the two-way shear. So first we have to take the check for the one-way shear. In case of the one-way shear, the critical section will be located at a distance of D from the face of the column. So this is your column having size equal to 0.5 by 0.5, and the section will be located at a distance of D from the face of the column. So this is the position of your critical section for the shear. Now first you have to calculate the shear force, then go for the shear stress. So the shear force is equal to V, which is equal to pressure multiplied by the area of this rectangle. So net upward pressure multiplied by, we have to take the area of this rectangle, then we are getting the shear force. So this P, that is net upward pressure. Now area of this rectangle, so this side is nothing but your B. So B, that is one of the size of the rectangle, multiply by this distance. So this distance is given by 1/2 L minus B into L minus B minus D. So you have to put up the value 136, B is your 2.1 into 1/2, L is your 2.1, B is your 0.5 minus this D will be nothing but your effective depth of the footing, that is 0.3. After simplifying this, we are getting this shear force is equal to 142.8 kilonewton. So this is the shear force acting at that section. Then you have to calculate the shear stress. The shear stress is given as shear force divided by this area, V divided by B into D. So V is nothing but your shear force that we are calculating, divided by B is nothing but the width of the footing, multiply by the effective depth of the footing, so 300. So tau V is equal to 0.22 Newton per mm square. So this is the shear stress developed. Now we have to calculate the shear strength of the concrete. Now shear strength of the concrete is given by the relation K into tau C. So tau C will be depend upon the percentage of the steel provided. So again we have to calculate the percentage of the steel. So percentage of steel is given as K into sigma CBC divided by 2 times sigma ST into 100. So K is your neutral axis factor, that is 0.29. Sigma CBC, that is permissible stress in concrete, that is 700, 2 into sigma ST. So after simplifying this one, we are getting this the value as a 0.44%, that is the steel provided. The percentage of the steel provided is 0.44%. Now the shear strength of the concrete is given as K into tau C. For that one, value of the K we have to refer IS 456 clause number 14.2, which is available on the page number 72. Then we are getting the value of the k is equal to 1. Then for the tau c, we have to refer the table number 19, which is available on the page number 72. The value of the tau c is depend upon the percentage of the steel provided and the grade of the concrete. So percentage of the steel provided, we are providing the 0.44%. The is we are getting the value for corresponding to 0.25% is 0.36, and corresponding to the 0.5 we are getting this 0.48. Now to interpolate and calculate the value of the tau c corresponding to this 0.44%. Now after interpolating, we are getting the value of the tau c as 0.4%. Then the shear strength of the concrete is given as k into tau c. So k is 1, tau c is your 0.45. So shear strength will be the 0.45 Newton per mm square. Now depth required from the one-way shear consideration is d is equal to v divided by b k into tau c. V is nothing but your shear force, that is already calculated one. B is your width of the footing 2100 into k is your 1, tau c is your 0.45. So what is the value of the d we are getting? We are getting the value of d is 151.11 millimeter, which is less than the d provided. What is the d we are providing? We are providing the d as a 300 mm. So it will be lesser than the d provided. Hence your design will be safe against the one-way shear. The next one, we have to go for the check for the two-way shear. So in case of the two-way shear, the critical section will be located at a distance of d by 2 from the face of the column. So this is the position of your critical section, which is located at distance of d by 2. Now we have to calculate the shear stress, that is shear stress is equal to tau v, which is equal to v divided by b0 into d. Now shear force is given by this relation. Shear force is equal to P into bracket b square minus b plus d bracket square. So P is nothing but net upward pressure, B is your side of the footing, minus B is your 0.5, that is width of the column, and D is nothing but the depth of the footing, that is 0.3. So after simplifying this one, we are getting the shear force acting on the section will be the 512.72 kilonewton, and which is equal to 512.72 into 10 to the power 3 Newton. Now B0 is nothing but the periphery of the section, and the periphery of the section is nothing but 4 into B plus D. So to put up this value, then we are getting the B0 as 3.2 meter. Now put up this value in this equation, then we are getting the shear stress acting in at that section. So tau v is equal to 512.72 into 10 to the power 3. B is your 3200 into D is nothing but the effective depth of the footing, that is 300. After simplifying this one, we are getting the shear stress is equal to 0.53 Newton per mm square. Then the shear strength of the section will be, or shear strength of the concrete is given as Ks into tau c. And the value of the Ks is given as 0.5 into beta c, and this beta c is nothing but the length of the footing shorter side divided by length of the footing on the longer side. Here we are providing the square footing, so length on the both sides are the same one. So what is we are getting, this beta c is equal to 1. So this Ks is equal to 0.5 plus 1, which is equal to 1.5. Then the tau c is given as the relation 0.16 into under root of FCK, and FCK is nothing but the characteristic strength of the concrete. So we are providing the M20 grade concrete, so we are getting this FCK as 20. So tau c is equal to, after simplifying this one, we are getting the tau c is equal to 0.72. So shear strength is equal to Ks into tau c. Put up the value of the Ks as 1.5, tau c is 0.72. So we are getting the shear strength of the concrete is 1.08 Newton per mm square, which is greater than the tau v, and the tau v is nothing but your 0.53 Newton per mm square. So your section will be again safe against the two-way shear. Now last step, we have to go for the calculation of the steel. So AST is given by the relation, that is bending moment divided by sigma ST J into D. So the same formula here, whatever maybe we are using in case of the slab or the beam. So bending moment is 91.4 into 10 to the power 6. Sigma ST, that is 230. Then we have to put up the value of the J and the effective depth of the footing. After simplifying this one, so we are getting this AST is equal to 1455.64 mm square. So let us provide 12 number of the bars. Then the number of bars required is given as S is equal to, that is number of bars is equal to total AST divided by 1 bar. So after simplifying this one, we are getting 12.87, which is equal to 13. We have to provide higher side one, so we are providing the 13 number of the bars. So hence provide the 13 number of the bars in each direction, because the footing will be the square footing. So whatever may be the steel we are getting along the length of the footing, we have to provide the same steel along the width of the footing. So here we have to provide 13 number of the bars of the 12 mm phi in each direction of the footing. So this is the finally we are getting the arrangement of the footing, that is 13 number of the bars of 12 mm in both the ways, and this is your position of your column. So this is regarding to the design of the square footing.